Let me introduce our speaker for you today. Kyven Gadson was born in Iowa City. He had his first wrestling practice with his dad on their living room floor, and his dad turned out to be his coach as well at Waterloo East High School, where Kyven won state championships in his junior and senior year and compiled a 68-0 record. He graduated from Iowa State in 2014 with 30 wins, and he became the 69th national champion in Iowa State wrestling history. He's here with his mom, Danita, today. Kyven is working on his master's degree at Iowa State in higher education, leadership, and learning. He wants to become a Division I athletic director. Kyven competed in the 2016 U.S. Olympic trials, and he continues his journey to be the best in the world. Please welcome Kyven Gadson.
For a second there, I was worried Jim was going to steal everything that was in my paper, so thanks, Jim. Thank you, Mr. Waterbury. So today, I'm here to talk about change. Not the kind that's sitting in my pocket that I was going to put in my mom's meter this morning, but then I started to read the meter and it said 9 till 5 p.m., so I got to keep my $1.50. Or I'm not talking about the kind that some of you did this morning when you were waking up, getting ready to see what you were going to wear and you had to go change. I'm talking about the type of change that shows improvement, the kind that signals growth, the kind of change that shows anyone can make a difference, the kind of change that lets me know that I can make a difference and that even Darian and Day can make a difference. I was looking at their project, they were doing robotics over there, and I was just like, man, I wish I would have did some of this stuff, but you know that I grew up in Iowa City, so I didn't have that. When I moved to Waterloo a little less than 12 years ago in 2004, I was a 12-year-old boy, not excited to leave his friends, his house, and everything else about Iowa City. I was afraid. I was scared of change. Now I stand before you today at a little less than 24 years old, and I embrace change because it made me the man that I am today. When I started school in 7th grade at Logan Middle School in Waterloo, Iowa, I had never been in the ELP program or in the talented and gifted classes growing up. The Waterloo schools gave me the opportunity to push myself to different heights and new limits in school. Although it was a change for me at the time that I resisted, it is now one that I am extremely grateful for. Some of you here might know this, but when someone asks me where I'm from, I proudly say Waterloo. Then I let them know I was born in Iowa City, but I grew up in Waterloo. I changed. Wrestling was a big piece of my upbringing, as well as was education. Both of my parents graduated from college and attained multiple degrees. I know everyone here doesn't have that, and I'm extremely grateful for the situation I was in. But regardless of your circumstances, it's up to you to make the positive choices that will leave a lasting impact on your life and others. Your choices make you who you are. They mold and change you for better or for worse. So I encourage everyone here to make the choices that will make them better. I'm gonna tell you a quick story about when I was in 9th grade. My dad held me out of wrestling. It was something at the time that I didn't understand, but that I now get. I had a C+ in biology class that consisted mainly of juniors and sophomores. Dr. Barney might know this story. I had a C+. That bothered my dad, but it wasn't the C+, it was my lack of effort. It was that I was just easing by without giving my all, and that was unacceptable in our house. I think about this quote by Steve Prefontaine. He was a 1972 Olympic in track and field. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. Think about that. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. So I encourage you all, the students, the educators, to give your best effort and put your best out every day and live with the results, because the pain of regret hurts way worse and way longer than the pain of hard work. I think that is one of the biggest things I've learned in my journey. Coming into high school, as Jim mentioned a little bit, I wanted to be an undefeated 4-time high school state champion. I wanted to be perfect. That never happened. I wasn't perfect, but I made progress consistently, and that got me to the next level. I ended up winning 2 high school state titles my junior and senior years, going 68-0 in that span. When I got to college, again, my goal was to be perfect. I wanted to be a 4-time NCAA champ and go undefeated. That never happened. I ended up being a 3-time All-American and a D1 NCAA champion with no perfect season. What Jim forgot to mention was the one loss that I had my senior year, 30-1. But I continually made progress. When I decided to continue wrestling after college and pursue my childhood dream of becoming an Olympic gold medalist, my goal was to be perfect. And that didn't happen. At the Olympic trials on April 10th, I fell short of that. But I'm going to continue that dream. The reason I tell you these things is not to scare you from taking risks and setting goals. It's to share with you that the journey is about progress. Just like Dr. Lindemann stated, they made progress. They broke that 80% threshold. Please give them a hand. The journey is about progress, not perfection. Continue to make changes and decisions that will lead you closer to your dreams and being the person that you want to be tomorrow and down the road. Invest in you. I love wrestling, and it's been one of my passions. Wrestling has changed the lives of countless numbers of people, including my father, and I'm proud to say it has changed mine. I've been able to use wrestling as a vehicle to get a college education, to travel around the world, to meet and interact with people that I otherwise would not have been able to. I had the opportunity to do so, and I tell you all this not to brag, but to encourage each and every one of you to find your passion and your talent and to use it to change your life for the better. Use it to experience new cultures. Use it to take you to different countries. Use it to help you make a lasting impact on these children and these kids in the Waterloo community schools and those you come in contact with. Use it to impact the lives of others while making change. So while I was preparing this speech, I was asked about a teacher who helped guide me. And there are plenty of people who have made small and major impacts on me in my time in Waterloo and in the schools. One sticks out in particular, though, and it was my 7th grade science teacher. That also happened to be my coach, father, and mentor. So to him, I want to say thank you. He helped to teach and instill in me things like accountability, perseverance, hard work, and much, much more that I carry with me today. So to all the teachers, educators, coaches, and parents, I want to say thank you for making an impact, not just in my life, but in the lives of the kids that come through the Waterloo Community School District. Because it is that impact that molds the future and breeds a change in the mind of our youth. A wise man once said, "A life is not important except in the impact, change that it has on others." That wise man was Jackie Robinson. So my challenge to everyone here today, no matter your age, is to make a positive impact on others while first making a positive change in yourself. Thank you.